Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Lauren Snowden.
What? Oh, you going first?
Oh, please, you
no,
go.
No,
You
go.
please.
No.
You.
I'm Lauren. No. You go.
I'm Lauren Snowden here from Moorpark College. And
Moorpark College! Oh, shit! Turn up! It's crazy right now. It's 4,000 people back here.
4,000.
It's crazy.
Big crowd. Big
Security,
crowd.
please.
We're so happy and so honored to be here with Mr. Jamie Foxx. Thank you so much for honoring us for Black History Month.
Thank you so much. Hold on, let me get to. Okay, they got it? All right.
That's that screenshot.
All right.
So,
thank you for having me.
Oh, happy to be here. I'm so honored for the opportunity. And we're doing this interview with the thanks of the women's basketball team.
Lily Nye.
Yes.
Nia Hutchins.
Hutch. Yes.
Sins.
Who was also one of my students.
Ooh.
So very, very fun.
Yes.
And I'm really grateful for you being here with us.
Yeah.
For those who may not know, I don't know how it's possible, but you may not know about Mr. Jamie Foxx. I do want to just give a small resume. From stand-up comedy to television, sketch comedy, and living color way back in the 1990s. Got his own show, The Jamie Foxx Show. Went on to record 5 albums now, right?
Yeah.
Five albums.
5 or 10.
5 or 10. They're on the grill, right?
Yeah, on the grill.
Ready? And then into a plethora of amazing films. 2 Oscar nominations in 1 year. First African American ever to do that. The 10th person ever to be nominated twice in the same year for both Ray and Collateral. Won the Oscar for Ray, portraying Mr. Ray Charles, in a beautiful performance.
Thank
you. Went on to do pretty much every genre, I believe now, right? You've done comedy, drama, thriller,
music, male exotic. It's just crazy.
even the male exotic, animation with soul.
Yes,
right?
soul as well. Yeah.
Yep. And superheroes now. Doing superheroes now,
played
right?
a little villain. Yeah. Little Electro, Team Electro.
yeah. And so
I got an album coming out. Electro.
What's
it's a whole villain album.
What's the date? What's the date on that? We got to get that.
It's called Don't Let Me Catch You Out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't Let Me Catch You Out.
It's all villains.
Okay.
You know, I got everybody on there. Drake. Everybody. Drake, not the Drake.
Not that
Drake from San Bernardino. It's another.
Okay.
It's another Drake. But
okay. We gotta get.
We coming though.
Okay. He's coming with that. That's album number 11. Okay, that's gonna be 11. So that's wonderful. Yeah. So obviously, just a huge milestone for our community.
Thank you so much.
Couldn't think of a better way to close out our Black History Month.
I appreciate you.
Absolutely. So I did want to just kind of start off. For a lot of people you don't know, I mean, I grew up watching you, and in the 1990s, I was in high school when you were coming out. I remember you when you got on in Living Color. That was big. Actually, my uncle used to work on the show.
Wow.
And so we were always watching it. And I remember the thing. I started realizing how diverse you were. That Christmas episode, never forget. This Christmas.
Hang on the mistletoe. I'm gonna get to know you better. This Christmas. Yeah.
Yo,
that was like
man.
a little thing.
Oh man. Played it over and over.
But here was the thing about being on that show, about being in Living Color. And if you guys haven't had a chance to check out In Living Color, it was a very big, groundbreaking comedy explosion back in the day, sort of like the hipper, blacker version of what you have in Saturday Night Live. But some of the most incredible comedians that I've ever witnessed in my entire life, from Damon Wayans and all of the Wayans, Keenan Ivory Wayans, who created it, Jim Carrey, David Allen Greer, Tommy Davidson. It was just the most amazing cast, and so many. And you may know this one young lady, her name was J-Lo, who was on the show, who was... Yes, indeed. Let me see your fly girl dance. Go. All right, forget it. But it was an incredible show, but it was also a show to let everything out, because I feel like I'm the funniest guy on the planet. But imagine being on a show where you're the 8th funniest person. These guys were like incredible. I I actually walked into the office of Jim Carrey one day, and he has cue cards on a bulletin board. I said, "What you doing?" "Hey man, what's happening?" I said, "What are you doing?" "I'm writing this little movie called Pet Detective." So I watched him write, Pet Detective. So being on that show was amazing, but also very challenging. So you had to be very serious about being funny, because at that time, it was only 22 minutes of programming. See, like Saturday Night Live, I think it's like an hour and a half, 90 minutes. It was only 22 minutes of program that you had to share with all those comedians and with the Fly Girls as well. So it made you purify your acts. You had to really like step out. So that episode that you saw where I got a chance to sing was like, okay, I want to show everybody before I either get cut or fired or whatever, that I got other stuff that I can show.
Oh, and it was so much. I mean, that was just the beginning of so many things. Something else in that little shiny moment for me was that last line, "Merry Christmas, Grandma."
Yeah.
And then, and then in 2004, seeing you on James Lipton inside the Actors Studio tell the story of how your grandmother equipped you with life, with all the tools.
My grandmother was really important in my life because, as a young rambunctious kid from Terrell, Texas, I don't know how many people have ever been to Texas. Show of hands? Okay, great. Make sure you get out there and check it out. Texas. We ain't never heard of that. Anyway, but being from Texas, I was this rambunctious kid. I grew up in this place, Terrell, Texas, only 12,000 people. And so, but I was always thinking, like, what are people in LA doing? What are people in New York City doing? I always had these sort of big dreams of how am I gonna get it there? How am I gonna get to LA and screenwrite or direct or anything? I had no idea how to get there, but my grandmother, for whatever reason, had this thing going on inside her saying, that big head boy gonna be something one day. So I think like in the 3rd grade, I kept getting in trouble with the teacher because I already knew the school curriculum because my grandmother was an educator. So I was sort of bored, so I'm making all these wisecracks or whatever, and so the teacher was like, "You're gonna get kicked out of here." So my grandmother brokered a deal with my 3rd grade teacher and says, "Listen, just do something that he could get it out." So my 3rd grade teacher, Miss Reeves, says, "Okay, at the end of every class on Friday, we're gonna give you 10 minutes to do stand-up comedy." So I would do my stand-up act in front of the 3rd grade kids, and I would just take the jokes that I saw on, you guys too young to know what this is. You know what this is, it's called The Tonight Show. Jimmy Fallon does it now, but back in the day there was a guy named Johnny Carson who did it. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, come on with it. And so I would take those jokes and tell them to the kids. By the time I got to the 5th, 6th, 7th grade, everybody from my city would come to hear me do my act in school. So my grandmother was always making sure that, I was going to have the opportunity to succeed. We all need that. We need somebody that believes in us no matter what. And then music. She made me play classical piano. And I was like, "Granny, why am I playing classical piano?" She says, "Well, it's going to take you on the other side of the streets, on the other side of the tracks." I said, "Granny, for the white people? No, silly." I mean, all over the world, music is international. Anywhere you go, you'll be able to play your music. So I picked up classical piano. It paid off in an incredible way. I ended up going to college on a classical piano scholarship in San Diego, which I know that probably throws you just by looking at it. But yeah, I did classical piano. And when I got to my college, it was 81 different countries represented. So a kid coming from Texas, where it's only black, whites, and Mexicans, I look up, I see somebody, like I see a brother, like, "What's up, brother? Yeah, what's happening, brother?" Name, "Bonjour." "Damn, where you from, man?" But so she threw me the ultimate lob, and that's why I'm here today.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And while we're on it too, talking about college, I mean, might as well get this in now. I mean, you come to support your niece playing basketball here.
Yes, I do.
You went to college.
Yeah.
I went to film school, do all the things too. And I have students a lot of times ask me, do I need to go to college? Is it worth it? Is it, can I just go out there and just get a job somewhere? Of course you can. Yeah. What's your perspective on it?
Listen, I think that college was is great. I would never be on camera ever telling anybody not to go to college. Like my daughter, who's, she's now acting now and doing her thing, but I was like, why don't you, if you want, you can start whenever you want to. But she wanted to go to college, and she ended up going to USC. And it was great. You know why? She got a chance to meet people from all over. Sometimes, California can be a little bit of a bubble, but she got a chance to meet people from all over the world, and she has friendships now that she can, that she can call on, whether those friendships last, a lifetime or not. It's those experiences that you get. So you should never tell a kid not to go to college. To watch my niece go from high school to college now, and watching her, play, watching Anaya play and scoring all those threes and things like that. It's so important, because those are the moments where it's a bit of a cushion. You could sit, you could learn, and at the same time, you have that real world is a mofo.
Yeah.
Like when you get out in the real world, it ain't no teachers, you ain't got no professors, that's your ass if you don't get shit done, right? So being in college is a great place for you to learn and sort of get your skin thick. And I'll go back to my niece, playing basketball, but she's also an artist. She did the theme song on my television show. Dad, Stop Embarrassing Me. So she has all these different things that she can do. So having her in college, watching her do her thing, and then waiting for the next episode of her life. Yay. Anyway.
Yeah. One thing I tell the students.
Episode.
Oh, you go ahead.
Next.
We got it, right?
Next episode.
You got it? Yeah. So, and the thing for me, I tell the students is, like you said, I mean, it's a safe place. You have that cushion. Yeah. It's just short of free to be able to explore things you wouldn't be able to otherwise. But one of the biggest things I believe is the network, right?
Yes.
Like you have to learn networking. That's one of the biggest skills that we need to learn, especially in this business. And for them to be able to create relationships here that would take them on into their life. Yeah. And you don't need, I commend
you for that. This is great.
Thank you.
I commend you. You told me this is 25 years and you 22 years old. Better stop playing. That black don't crack.
Amen.
Better stop playing.
Amen.
Melanin.
Yeah, that's one of those things. I mean, there's so many relationships, especially young filmmakers, getting younger and younger. We were talking about Ryan Coogler a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
Ryan Coogler and his and Ludwig Göransson, his composer.
Yes.
They met in college, USC.
Yes, USC.
And they built that relationship, and they now have done so many movies together.
Most definitely.
But they've also branched off to have their own careers. Yes. They know that they're there for each other, and I know that you probably have several relationships like that as well.
I mean, that's everything. When she said she wanted to be a screenwriter, she'll eventually run into directors, and she'll eventually run into people that are of the same ilk, and it'll sort of sharpen your tools. I cannot tell you how many people that I've met in this business. We were just talking about this earlier, that are iconic figures now. Music. People look at Kanye now, and what he's done in music is his incredible, iconic steps in music. But I was there at the beginning. I used to have this little house on Van Alden, a little small house, but everybody would come there. I'd throw these big parties. And back in the day, it was all about trying to get relationships. I would throw the party so I could meet people. You know what I'm saying? So I threw a party, and I threw it for Puff Daddy. And at that time, he was the big, guy, and then Missy Elliott. And I tell this story a lot, but Puff and Missy come to my house, and Puff has a room, Missy has a room, we're all kicking it. But standing on the wall that nobody knew, who was it?
Kanye.
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
So Jay-Z standing on the wall. I walk up to him, what's up? Nice party, it's crazy. It's like this all the time, it's crazy. It's crazy. In my garage, tall guy, smaller guy, the smaller guy said, the small guy B, it's like this all the time. People sing karaoke and girls. I said, who are you? We're the Neptunes. My name is Pharrell, a young Pharrell. And so while we're having these parties, next thing you know, kid walks in. My boy Breon Prescott brings him in. And you can see this right now on Kanye's documentary. He brings in Kanye. Jaw was a little, whatever. And he had his backpack on and stuff. And he says, I got a song that I think you'd be good on. And it's called Slow Jams. And so you can watch it on the documentary right now. And so there we are doing slow jams. And what people don't know is Kanye was trying to get on. No one believed him as an artist. And I was trying to get into music. So we were both hungry, but because of our relationship, we ended up doing something fantastic, and the rest is history. So when you get in the business, the most important thing is your hustle, going, meeting, talking to people, finding out things. Ryan Coogler, people don't know this. My producing partner, Datari Turner, found Ryan Coogler. Okay? Datari Turner, when you get a chance, look him up. Found Ryan Coogler, and I know we're going to laugh about this. They know him as Uncle Dave. But one of my best friends, Dave Brown, he has a indie night. So it's a night where we show all these independent films. Ryan Coogler came through that. So all of your relationships is what you're really going to rely on. And not only that, but it helps you. It helps you gauge where you are. Like if you think, I think I got a hot script, but then you read someone else's material, you say, okay, I know how to adjust it to get a step further.
Sure. Yeah, that's great. That's great. I wanted to talk a little bit about some life lessons.
Yeah.
I've heard you've told some awesome stories over the years, but I think this is very fitting considering Black History Month, and we've had some tough losses lately. One of them being Sidney Poitier.
Most definitely.
God
bless.
Oh, God bless him. I had one privilege to meet him. He's just the most magnanimous, kind person.
Yes.
Wished me well in my career. It was just one of those things. I wouldn't have done it without my dad. To relationships, another thing, you got to be bold, step out of your comfort zone, because I was super shy. I didn't want to.
Why was you shy?
I don't know. It's this
Anybody
thing,
shy here?
Hey, please.
Y'all better not be shy. You shy up in here?
Oh, so that means we're gonna have lots of
First,
feedback.
before we get it, that's the first thing you got to get rid of.
Yeah. Yep.
Shy, being scared.
Yep.
And the question is why?
Why?
I tell my youngest daughter all the time, I'm going to ask you this question. What's on the other side of fear?
Freedom.
Nothing. Now, she knows it.
Hey.
There's nothing. If I take the shot or not, I'm still in the same situation.
Right.
I'm not going to die.
That's right.
So if I'm afraid to do something and I just sit there and I let time go by, and you never know, always get beyond that. Because in this business, that is the thing that will keep you from being successful.
That's right.
Everybody's afraid. I was never shy. I'll never get seeing Denzel Washington out of the club. And I wasn't on it. This was a long time ago. I wasn't on, but I seen it. And I was the oh shit dude. You know what the oh shit dude is? I was hanging outside the club. I couldn't get in. So every time a celebrity came out, I was like, oh shit! Bruce Willis! Wesley like, oh shit! Wesley Snipes! But then when Denzel came out, I said, hell, because the security used to make me stand on the other side of the street because, I was making too much noise or whatever. I'm like, motherfucker, it ain't your club. So Denzel came out, I took off. I ran across the street. Oh, hold on, man. And when black people are excited, they march when they see you. I was like, oh shit, damn, right? But I wasn't afraid to go over and meet my hero. And that's it. Now go back to what you were saying.
No, you're right. And that was the
don't you be scared. Hashtag don't be scared.
Well, that was the lesson.
Hashtag.
That was the lesson.
No fear.
Yeah, because I was young and I was shy. Sidney Poitier, he was so kind, and I said, wow. And once I did that thing, then it was just, I could do it, and I could do it, and I could do it, But you have to take that first leap.
Yes, you have to.
But in that, meeting him, and he was so kind and magnanimous, and just poured wisdom into me. But I know that you had an amazing experience with Sidney Poitier. Can you share that with us?
I was back in 2005. We were up for the Oscar for Ray. I wasn't taking it seriously because I was thinking we weren't going to win. So I was just partying. Me and my homies, we was taking buses of people, and they had the Golden Globes. I only had 2 tickets, and it's mostly, it's not a lot of brothers in the Golden Globes. So I got 2 tickets, but I got 22 brothers. Right. So we doing the whole pass too, so we can get in the gold. We were having too much fun. So my publicist was like, you're gonna blow this opportunity to win this because you have to sort of campaign for it and you're not looking right. So they called the intervention, and a lady called me. Her name was Oprah Winfrey. And I get a phone call from Oprah. She says, Jamie Foxx, Jamie, you're gonna blow it. Jamie Foxx, when Oprah started singing. Jamie Foxx, So she says, I want you to take this seriously. So she took me to Quincy Jones's house. Quincy Jones, who was a big-time producer who did all of Michael Jackson's records and things like that. Quincy sees me. Hey, man, shit, you're going to blow it, man. Stop messing around, man. You could really do this, man. And so when I go into the house, Quincy's house, there's all these actors and actresses that I watched when I was growing up. All there in their suits, sort of giving me a handshake, also saying, you know, good luck to you. We really need this. Especially being a black character like Mr. Ray Charles. Especially being honored for the Oscars. And a lot of times when you win Oscars, sometimes it's always not the type of performances that we can really wrap ourselves around. Ray Charles' performance and what he lived and how he affected us as the whole world, it was a great moment. So as I'm in the party, shaking these people's hands, like feeling very, very like humbled, Oprah comes over and says, okay, you want to see the person you're here to see. He's right there, and it was Sidney Poitier. And I walk up, and I'm shaking in my boots, and Sidney says, I saw you one time. You were at a party. Do you remember that? And I said, Mr. Poitier, I do. He says, I watched your performance, and it allowed me to grow 2 inches. And I'm sitting there, tears almost in my eyes. This is the greatest actor of our history. And he says, I give you responsibility. I give you responsibility for all of the work that you do henceforth. And so, as a African-American man who won the Oscars before there was colored TV, and he did it in such a regal way, to have that bestowed upon me, that's like how you met it. It's a lifetime. So every time we do something, it may not be the best, but there is the responsibility of the art, and we try to do it as best we can.
Yes, absolutely. And I think, you know, that legacy, you know, especially this month. I mean, obviously, it's all year round. Let's enjoy
our month.
Let's enjoy our month.
I know a lot of times people. I saw somebody talking about we don't need Black History Month. Hush,
we do.
Your mouth.
Yes, we do.
Because there's a guy named Carter G. Woodson, who people have no. Does anybody know who Carter G. Woodson is? Carter G. Woodson started Black History Month, 1926. He's an incredible journalist, incredible writer. The reason that he wanted Black History Month is because we were being left out of the history books. If we created the stoplight or these other things that we did, we weren't being acknowledged. So he says, we need a Black History Month. At first it was Black History Week. We had to work to get it to the month. So what I tell people all the time, especially younger folks who may not know the history, and we were talking about history in the car. What do you say to all the people that fought, died, stood in front of water cannons, said, I don't want to go to the back of the bus, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, all of these people within one Instagram post, you fracture that by saying, we don't need Black History. No, we need this month, and if we can get some more days, we'll take that as well.
That's right.
But we need this because I come from a Black educator. My father, George Dixon, you know, when I told him what these people were saying about it, he said, turn the cameras on. And we filmed him and his 2 colleagues and his girlfriend at the time, who actually marched with Martin Luther King. So they explained the significance. So take the month. Don't feel weird about that, because sometimes people make you feel weird about. My next book is going to be called Eating Fried Chicken in Public. I know they don't make sense right now.
Yes, it does.
What happened? Because you should be proud.
That's right.
Don't ever tuck your blackness in, because it's beautiful, man. And we should enjoy our month. And we only got 28 days, so we got to get it in.
Let's maximize.
Maximize.
Yes. And to that point.
Hashtag Black History Month.
Hashtag.
Hashtag chicken.
Fried chicken.
Right.
Yeah. So
I didn't explain that story, but
yeah, we're looking forward.
No.
You want to explain it?
No. I'll wait for the book.
Wait for the book. Get the book. So so to that point about legacy, you know, that was like one night of so many milestones and so much Black legacy in one place, our heritage. My dad grew up in segregation in Oklahoma.
So did my dad.
Right, in Texas, right? Yeah. So and to that point about the acknowledgement and the responsibility, you know, I know that those people, became mentors for you, and those are some lessons that you just can't pay for. So now you, with your career and all that you've learned in your wisdom, how do you give back to your mentor?
You pay it forward. All of these guys that you watch, and Anaya has seen this because she lives with me. How many people do we have over there that we counsel and we shepherd? Whether it be the whole Olympic basketball team, from Kyrie to everybody over there, from Drake, from Nick Cannon sleeping on my couch when he was 13 years old. All these people come through, and you got to pay it forward, because a lot of times when they do finally make it, that's when it's the challenge. If you look at what Kanye is going through now, you look at what these guys are going through. This is a remarkable place to be in, but it's also a place of extreme responsibility, and you can lose it just like that. So every time I get a chance to pass on, like when I talk about Nick Cannon used to watch us in those parties. He was 13, he couldn't come in. I said, no, you can't come in, So to see him lift and do his thing. What's the boy? First off, let me say congratulations. Neo at the crib. You know what I'm saying? Sleeping on the couch. Anthony Hamilton. So all it. What's the light-skinned kid? Drake. From Toronto. Y'all know who Drake is?
Yes.
We brought Drake to America the first time. Before anybody ever knew Drake. Drake did a record on my album, Drake and Kanye, which was an amazing meeting. But I do the Tonight Show, and I said, I got a kid coming out here named Drake. There was only one girl. I said, she knows the future, and the rest was history. So what you're supposed to do is take everything that you have and give it all to them. Be able to, behind closed doors, give them the keys and sort of the blueprint. I did this, I messed up. So I don't want you to do it, because I want you to go get everything that's supposed to be coming to you, because like I said, it could leave you that quick. And as you're young, this is the time to go get it. When you're young, it's the go get it time. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I do. I give back.
Love it. I love it. And I heard. Well, I heard about it way after the fact that it happened, but in your real life, I mean, obviously we know you play superheroes and all these awesome roles, but you actually had a chance to save someone's life.
Oh man, yeah. Where I live, there's a street that's kind of got these windy roads. I'm in my, I'm up in the house, and I hear a crash, and I hear somebody saying, yelling. So when I get down the driveway, there's a truck that's on fire, 2 people standing there, and the guy's inside the truck, and he's yelling like, please don't let me die in here. And so it was a utility truck, so it was on its side like this, and the guy was over here in the passenger side. I mean, in the driver's side. And the flames is flying, and we can't get him out. And luckily, some kid walks up and he has EMT scissors. Hit the glass. Now I reach in and I cut the seatbelt down here, and he's panicking. And he says, my neck. I said, what's wrong with your neck? He says, my neck. So I cut the seatbelt off the neck, and then he just starts to panic. I said, hey bro, you're gonna have to, and he was heavy. I said, hey bro, you're gonna have to help you get out of here. I'm gonna have to leave you in here. And I think at one point, the flames hit his leg, and he did this. So I grabbed him, pull him out to the side, and by the time I pulled him to the side, the truck, like a movie, like the old movie, like a movie, right? So yeah, that did happen. And then we didn't publicize it, but his father came, got a chance to, talk to his father, and sometimes things just happen.
Now, question. I mean, this is one thing we talk about in intro, especially this introduction to cinema class. We talk about
that's the name of the class?
Introduction to cinema.
Introductions. Exactly. I
we
love it.
Talking about like special effects and things,
yes,
and sound effects, Foley sound, and all this. And I'm just curious from your standpoint. Now, you've obviously been around so many explosions in movie sets when they're controlled, pyrotechnics and all. But in the real life situation, how for you? I mean, that reality versus that fantasy. How was that?
Oh, well, it's tough because the dude wasn't gonna make it, but I don't know if I wanted to have that, in my house.
Right.
And my grandfather, Mark Elois Talley, used to always say, when things go fast, you go slow. So that means always be calm. He says, never do anything out of fear or panic. Never make any decision out of fear or panic. Always calm. Always take a few, steps back in your mind, and then you go from there. And then what you can handle, you handle, and what you can't, you leave it be.
Well, that's wonderful, and I just love that.
Gems.
That humanity.
Dropped.
Gems.
Okay.
All the nuggets today.
Nuggets.
Everybody, are we taking notes? Yes. So.
Corner 3.
Yeah, love it. I love it.
Bang! Time out, San Antonio. Gems.
Gems dropped. No, I think it's important. I mean,
it's true.
Especially
and everything in life.
Everything in life. But I think sometimes we get so caught up in the glamour of the films, the movies, and we get desensitized to things in real life. And then we get in real situations and
because in films, and I got a police officer back there, he understands, like, when someone gets shot, they don't be like, pow, go on without me, I'll be just fine, and they don't do a whole soliloquy and shit. You fuck around, you in the hospital.
That's right.
See somebody get shot in the finger and almost die, like, out of panic.
Wow.
So don't let the movies, because the movies, they do
everything.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
and I don't like doing my stunts. I let somebody else.
All the stunts.
Yeah, I see the dude jump. I said, yeah, that's great. Okay, Jamie, you're up.
Just land. Just do the landing. Yeah. I mean, it's obviously there's a huge illusion. Movie magic is magic for a reason, But I just thought it was pretty fascinating, and that you had that opportunity. But most of us don't get put in those situations, and we just see the stuff on the screen, and then we.
Well, I don't want nobody to ever be in that situation. That's tough.
We don't want that. But I think that there's something to. Our desensitization. I think that's something that's real, And then when things are really happening in the world, sometimes we don't connect it because we're so used to seeing everything so big.
Yes. True.
So Now I wanted to talk. Now we're on life lessons. Your experience on Any Given Sunday.
Yes.
A lot of first rejection and then triumph in that situation.
Well, there was a movie, if you get a chance to see it, it's called Any Given Sunday. I think the best football movie ever done with Oliver Stone. If you get a chance, since you're being introduced to cinema, please go find out about Oliver Stone, one of the most prolific directors in our cinematic history. But I got a chance to be in this movie called Any Given Sunday. But I was a TV actor when I went in to read for it, and it's a football film. And there was I went to read for some part, whatever it was, and I was coming from TV, and I think I was too loud, and so I was reading my lines like, "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about." And he's like, "Why are you so loud?" And he explained to me that movie acting is quiet, because the screen is 30 feet, so if you're talking that loud, it's too loud. So he basically said I was no good, and told me that. He said, "Well, you're just no good." And I was like, "What? What?" And then he had me come back and read for another part. And after I read for a smaller part, he says, "Well, you're just no good at this at all." And that pissed me off. I'm like, "Well, I know I ain't, the best, but I know I ain't what he's saying, right?" So I end up getting the smaller part, come back, he says, "Listen," and I was going to give him a piece of my mind. I said, "Yo, motherfucker, that really made me mad that you were saying that I wasn't good." He said, "Relax. I was testing you to see how far you could go, how far you could stretch." So he ended up giving me the opportunity to be in the lead character. And the lead character was supposed to be a quarterback. Now, I may not have been the best actor at the time, but I knew everything about being a quarterback because I was a quarterback in school in Terrell, Texas. I said, "Well, listen, man, I know how to be a quarterback, right?" So we go through the whole process. I'm not getting the character right. And so I just branch out on my own. This is called innovation. Branch out on my own, and I just put on my Dallas Cowboy gear because I love the Cowboys. And I make a tape of me being the guy, Willie Beeman. We actually come up with a song while we're doing this. I'm acting like I'm doing this sort of spring training. I said, "My name is Willie Beeman. I keep the ladies screaming," corny, but it was cool at the time. And so the next thing you know, he watches the tape, and he said, "This is it." And so The Hustle ends up allowing me to be in one of the most incredible films, but also the people that were in the film. Al Pacino's in the film. James Wood. If you get a chance, Google some of these folks. And then all of my football heroes, from Lawrence Taylor to Terrell Owens, Warren Moon, and even now to this day, certain colleges and high schools watch that film, and that was sort of like my launching pad to other things.
Yeah, that was a great launching pad.
Well,
Whew, love that one. But I think it's it's interesting that you said innovation.
Yes.
So thinking outside the box.
Gotcha.
And not just taking no.
Yeah.
So being able to pivot. In a given situation. I mean, obviously, a lot of these lessons are
you wrote that shit.
That's right. Life lessons, right? I mean, it's not just for
you got to know how to adjust. You know what I'm saying? Because you're writing your script, you're gonna get told no 1,000 times. So you got to figure out a way how to make it right. Someone said you can't be an actor or an actress, so you can't do this part. You got to figure out a way. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what life is: figuring out a way to get what you want out of it while we're here.
That's right. So with all these experiences, I mean, you've worked with so many, I mean, all the top directors. I mean, you just go down the roster, right? For you, what is the thing that maybe you have yet to conquer? What is there something out there that you're still waiting to try?
What is it that I want? I think when you're talking about the business, just continue to build. I think all of the ideas that we have an incredible deal right now. That's why if you guys have some scripts, you have something that you want to get to us, we have an incredible deal with Sony right now, an incredible deal with Viacom. I created the Black Ocean's 11. So Will Smith, Michael B. Jordan, Halle Berry, Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, myself. So we're like these talented thieves in America, California, Chicago, Florida, whatever, and we all get a cryptic message to come to Paris. And a Robert Downey Jr. type says, I want you to pull off the unthinkable. I want you to steal the Mona Lisa from the Louvre. So all of the things that I've wanted to do in the business are now sort of coming to fruition. So we just continue to see what's next.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome. And you had, so you created, you had the,
It's okay.
We can clap.
Let it out.
They said they weren't shy. You said you weren't shy.
It's all good. What time is it? 3:25?
Yeah. Well, I guess, and rounding out to the end of it, one thing I thought would be kind of fun to do would be, I think it was 2004, you were on James Lipton's Inside the Actor Studio because you were promoting, that year you had the two films, Collateral and Ray both. And there's this thing that he just passed away fairly recently as well, but he had this tradition.
Passed away.
Yeah, it's awful. I mean, his show was great. I mean, obviously, all these names that you've been
you guys
out,
familiar with the show?
No? You can look it up on YouTube.
Get your Google.
Yeah,
what do
James
kids
Lipton.
do?
Yeah.
You
Get on the internet.
get on your iPad.
Yeah, that's right. But I mean, all the people that you named, they have all been on his show. I mean, every director, every actor. I mean, just did something really awesome. But he had this questionnaire that he liked to give. I don't know if you remember this.
I'm ready.
Bernard Pivot had this list of questions, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to see how your answers might have changed.
Well, let's knock it out.
So let's see. So there's 10 questions. All right, and let's get it cracking. So
crack a J.
So the first question is, what is your favorite word?
What's my favorite word? What did I say back there? Motherfucker?
You said that for a different word.
My favorite word is what I can't say right now. I can't say it.
Well, your favorite word back then was damn.
I lied, but yeah, okay, favorite because I can't say the word because it's such a. It's my word.
Yeah, that's on a different question. Let me tell you where it's at. Yes, that one is your favorite curse word.
Curse word. Oh, favorite curse word. Damn.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
there.
So,
okay. All right.
Yeah.
So my favorite word is love. That's my favorite word.
That's a good word. I like it. I like it.
I love y'all, man. I love you, man.
We love you.
I love the top of your face, man. Can't see the bottom of your face, but I love the top of your face. That's a trip when you hang out with people for a long time and you never saw the bottom, and then they take it off. You be like, ooh. You still want to go out? Not necessarily. It's amazing how the bottom half defines everything. Man. Take that shit out of here. Take that shit up here. All right, here we go. All right, okay. Motherfucker.
Okay.
Love, motherfucking love. That's my favorite.
That was the curse word.
Motherfucker.
That's the curse word and the favorite word together. We just mashed it up.
My bad.
Okay, that's all right.
Focus, Foxx. The Adderall is okay.
We improvised it. Okay,
I'm kidding.
What's your least favorite word?
Can't.
That's what you said.
I can't. I hate a motherfucker that say I can't. Oh, I hate I can't. I just can't. My sister. Oh, I can't be. Ooh, I hate that shit.
Yep, that's consistent.
There you
go. Okay, what turns you on?
Why are you looking at me like that?
Get your mind out of there.
Yeah.
That's a very broad concept.
What turns me on? What is that? What turns me on? Wait a minute. Confidence.
Confidence, that's good.
That's what it said?
No, that's not what you said back then.
What
back then you said a woman's posterior. The derriere, that's what you said back then.
That
ass. But confidence is good.
A confident ass is incredible. No, it's a different time now.
That's right, it's growth.
So now you have to say, confidence.
That's right. That's good.
That's why I get canceled.
It's a good one. It's good.
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, 2004 to 2022. Yeah. I mean, that's a big
growth.
Gap. That's growth, right?
Growth.
That's why I thought that
we got a situation eastbound on the. We are gonna have to make sure.
Oh God! For those you can't see, that was perfect timing.
We got
Okay, what turns you off? What turns you off?
The lack of
confidence.
Okay. No, the lack of confidence.
Okay, cool. That's pretty close because you said the everything is bad thing. Like
everything
that
is bad. I can't stand it.
Yeah, that's good. What sound or noise do you love?
Fake farts. Like a whoopee cushion. That's funny to me. I'm a comic.
Yes.
I perfected that.
That's pretty authentic. Yeah, that sounds really.
What did I say?
You said beats, like drums, like
beats. That's exactly that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's good.
I'm regressive.
Well, you did good on the other one.
No, shit.
Okay, what sound or noise do you hate?
On the chalkboard when the chalkboard. Yeah.
Nails on the chalkboard. That's what you said.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
No, me too.
Why did God give us that? He gave us such great stuff, and then He just give us that. I'll give you this shit. Take this, humans.
Okay. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
What would I like to attempt? Mm-hmm. Other professions? Lawyer. Did I say that?
No.
What did I say?
You said football.
Football. Yeah. Shit. Yeah, I'm growing.
Yeah, lawyer. That's good.
Yeah, I ain't got no knees for that football.
By the way, you did play a lawyer in Law Abiding Citizen.
Yes, and I'm playing a lawyer again in this next movie called The Burial with Tommy Lee Jones.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Cool. What profession would you absolutely not like to undertake?
Funeral home.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
That's real tough. Yeah.
Because, how do you say business is booming and feel good about
it? That's right.
Business is booming. Bring them in. That's tough. That's tough.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Okay, and the last question.
Yes.
If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Oh, man. I would like Him to show me immediately where my grandmother and my sister are so that we could catch up. That's what I would like.
I love that. Beautiful.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
This has been an introduction.
Thank you for being here.
To all of us.
Yes.
This is an introduction. And to all of you guys out there that have your hopes and your dreams, man, go get it. Like you're young, you're 16, 17. You You have your whole life in front of you, so get it and give it up for this lady right here, man. 25 years strong, doing your thing. And we were talking about this in the car, and my man up here,
Mr. Loomis?
Yeah, Mr. Loomis. And what we talk about, it's not about us, man. It's not about the people that are sitting on the perch. It's the people who are willing to every single day help you cultivate, listen to what you need, and help you get there if they can. And you guys are the most important and deserve
That's right.
all of the praise.
And thank you to students, because without you, we don't have a purpose.
There you go.
So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. I had a great time.
All right.
All right. Off to the club.
Oh, thank you so much.
Come on, man.